not that impressive. I feel like I've seen this before. Kinda looks like Luffy. The panels are drawn too big. Main character seems average. I was expecting more. What's all the hype about? It seems too edgy. Mid. On September 19th, 2023, Kagurabachi, written by Takeru Hokozano, released its first chapter, Mission, and the internet exploded, but not in a way that you'd expect. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. No matter where I scrolled, it would eventually find me. The surge in popularity had nothing to do with the manga itself. Like most modern trends, the category of Kagurabachi peak memes was simple and accessible enough for anyone to come up with. Just take a piece of media that everyone loves, like Bleach, start out with the Kagurabachi template, give him Ichigo's hair, Zangetsu, make him say the catchphrase Bankai, add his theme song to it, and boom, you got a banger. That's actually not his theme song. Then whose is it? Oh, but you get the idea. Kagurabachi was already set to be a headliner for Shonen Jump on its release, but this manga didn't follow the traditional trajectory that most Jump series take. Due to Shonen Jump's prestige as the longest running manga magazine, as well as the most popular one, most series quickly earned their validity, simply benefiting from just being in the catalog itself. Now, obviously, as the series grow and develop, so do their communities and fan bases. Stories like One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, these are all examples where the stories were able to use Shonen Jump's name to their advantages, capturing the reader's interest due to the quality of their works, and eventually growing their names outside of the Shonen Jump bubble. This seems to be the traditional approach when it comes to growing through Jump. Well, Kagurabachi unintentionally took a different route, and it ended up not working. In its first week, it sold 12,000 copies. And while in terms of first week release numbers, these aren't that bad compared to certain manga like Sakamoto Days and Undead Luck, but the hype for this manga felt like it should be up there with some of the current GOATs like Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia. So why did it fall short? I see. It's painstakingly average. The first chapter starts off like most shonen stories do. Our main character, Kagurabachi, is the son of a legendary swordsmith, Kunishige Rokuhira. His legend stems from the 6 enchanted blades that were forged by him. Recognized as a hero, his blades were the catalyst to winning the Seitei War. But this is where things get interesting. We skip ahead 3 years, and Kagurabachi has gone from a nonchalant, quiet kid to a nonchalant, quiet young adult. His character hasn't really changed that much, but his mission has, avenging his father and collecting back the 6 enchanted blades on his path of hatred. The manga panels aren't anything special, but you can immediately recognize what genre the manga is trying to fit into. Dark shonen. I hadn't really recognized it at first, but the general basis for what the audience wants to see within the shonen story is definitely changing. I recently watched a video on it from the channel Shikai Steph, essentially explaining that after the publishing of the Dark Trio that are Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Hell's Paradise, Shonen Jump experienced a major shift in what their audience wanted to experience. The feel of these mangas were entirely different from anything Jump had published before, and it was working. Being a Jump manga in today's world requires your story to have a dark theme that creates a dissonance from the traditional shonen series. And that's exactly what Kagurabachi does. Elements of suicide, gore, death. The first chapter does everything it can to define itself as a dark shonen. But once again, looking at the first, second, and third week sales, it's clear that something wasn't working. So what was it? Rollout and execution, the backbone of all mainstream media. Rollout, the build-up and pre-release that brings attraction and energy to the release of that piece of media. Trailers and teasers, advertisements, essentially the marketing side of media. A good rollout acts as a head start, boosting you ahead of the line because of how it establishes a greater starter audience, which in turn brings a bigger crowd to witness the execution. How well the project can retain the attention gathered from the rollout, based off purely the quality of the project and nothing else. This is where Kagurabachi failed. Its overall marketing, while it was unintentional, ended up giving Kagurabachi an insane rollout to its series, where most people in the manga and anime community had at least heard of Kagurabachi due to its internet presence. But when it came to the execution and quality of content within the manga, it fell short of reaching certain expectations and was written off as another overhyped show that was only popular for the meme. So why are we here? I mean, surely I'm not so mean that I'd make a video just shitting on how much potential the series had just for them to waste it all. Listen, today's manga scene is stacked. Sakamoto Days, Dan Dan Dan, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Chainsaw Man, Kaiju number 8, Blue Lock. The list can go on. If your manga isn't cream of the crop, it just won't be able to compete. And so that's what I believe that Kagurabachi was. Just a manga that was trying to ride the dark shonen mystique. Thank God I didn't stop reading. What started out as a slow-paced copycat quickly rose to a manga that I'm proud to claim as one of my favorites in this new generation. But what changed? I mean, I spent the entirety of this video talking about how bland the first chapters were, but never truly explained why I thought they were bland. And honestly, I had no idea. I could not put a finger on what was missing from this manga. It seemed to have all the tellings of a great manga, but something was missing. And that something is actually pretty simple, an enemy. But I'm not talking about someone like him or him. I need an antagonist, someone whose ethos completely clashes with Kagurabachi's. Genichi Sojo, an enchanted blade wielder with only one mission: to kill. Kill and keep killing with his enchanted blade, because that's how he believes that Kunishige Rokuhira meant for his blades to be used. To me, a headstrong protagonist like Kagurabachi can only thrive when his morals are tested, and Genichi Sojo was the perfect way to ignite the fire that this manga needed. But it seems like this was only a small sliver of what's to come. Every chapter seems to get better and better with the introduction of greater thought out characters, and I believe that Kagurabachi is on the cusp of breaking the internet again, except this time on purpose. Kagurabachi has been on a roll as of recently, and I could not recommend enough for you to start reading it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about Kagurabachi, and until next time, peace y'all.